Last week, I watched AC Milan beat Lecce 3-0, but that wasn't my last trip to the San Siro. I went back on Thursday evening to watch AC Milan face Roma in the Europa League. This is by far the biggest football match I've ever been to. AC Milan and Roma are competing for a place in the semi-finals against either West Ham or Bayer Leverkusen. This game is very important for AC Milan because if they don't win at home, the second leg in the Stadio Olimpico is going to be very tough. Roma have finally picked up some form with a win over Lazio at the weekend. We're going to get to see some famous players like Romelu Lukaku in action today. Just a little fun fact, Jose Mourinho was sacked after a 3-1 defeat to AC Milan in January. This is the first time they've faced since. Another interesting thing to note is that Roma drew with Lecce just days before AC Milan beat them. But after their big derby win against Lazio, I don't think many Roma fans are going to be concerned. I would still say AC Milan are the favourites to win. They're on great form and they won every single game available to them in March. My prediction is 3-2 to AC Milan. In the days before the match, I enjoyed myself in Milan a little bit and took this amazing photo of a pigeon. Sorry, I had to say that. It's a great photo of a pigeon, okay? And then it was time to get ready for the game. I chucked away my Roma stuff and put on my AC Milan shirt and hoodie. I was considering buying the new AC Milan shirt, but it was way too expensive in store compared to online. But luckily, I found this brand new Italy shirt for a decent price. Anyway, after I'd done all that, it was time to make my way to the stadium. The San Siro seats 75,000 people, and we could already hear the crowd before we even got into the stadium, and we arrived an hour early. The pre-match music and lights were very entertaining, but I noticed that the Roma fans were carrying a blue and white flag with a rat on it. This represents Lazio and their fans being rats, and it was used by Roma captain Mancini to celebrate against Lazio. He was fined £5,000 for this. I also spotted Romelu Lukaku, who I was very excited to see play. And then the whole crowd started singing AC Milan songs, and it was amazing. And then, in classic Europa League style, it was time for the teams to come out the tunnel. The Roma players and the Milan players lined up next to each other, knowing that they'd be battling it out on the pitch for the next 90 minutes. For both teams, this was the most important game of their season so far. The music made it feel like it was going to be a truly epic match. Welcome to the Europa League, Roma versus AC Milan. The first leg of a match that will see one team go through to the semi-finals. The players were ready, the fans were ready, and before we knew it, it was time to kick off. The game kicked off. The Roma fans were already making far more noise than any away fans I'd ever seen. But the AC Milan fans were still incredibly loud. I could barely see them though because there was loads of smoke in the stadium. At least half the people there must have been smoking before or during the match, and it meant I couldn't see very well and I was having to breathe in smoke from people around me. I was still really enjoying the match though. Early on, Roma got the ball in the box and almost had a shot on goal. And then it was Milan's turn to attack. They had a really good effort from range. In the early stages of the first half, AC Milan were doing well, but Roma were defending with discipline and AC Milan weren't. They defended very well here though. That could have been a good counter-attacking chance for Roma. The Milan fans were very happy with that, but it wasn't long before Roma threatened the game. And this time, it took an incredible save from Mike Maignan after a deflection to keep it out. And then, from a corner, this happened. Roma now led 1-0 and their fans were celebrating like crazy. The AC Milan fans, however, were not very happy. But we soon had a very big chance. Lukaku headed it off of the line and then again to stop AC Milan from scoring. As the half went on, AC Milan created chance after chance. But they all seemed to be ending in nothing. Roma's attacks looked far more likely to end in a goal. In the next AC Milan attack, Leao attempted a bicycle kick, and if it had gone in, it would have been amazing. And then came yet another big chance for Roma. If that had gone any closer to Lukaku, it would have been a goal. AC Milan still had plenty of possession in Roma's half, but they struggled to create big chances. And then Roma came forward again and almost scored. There were now only 3 minutes left of the half, and it was not going to plan for AC Milan. Roma were defending very smartly, and our midfield kept losing the ball way too easily. Roma had several attacks that looked very dangerous. AC Milan were going to need to improve in the second half if they wanted to win this game. The second half started well, with another opportunity from the edge of the box, but we really needed some bigger close-range chances. Even though the football wasn't going entirely to plan, I was still really enjoying the match. The AC Milan fans and the Roma fans were both very loud, and then the home fans started complaining for a penalty. I think this was a bit of a dive though. There's definitely not enough in that to give a penalty. After this, Roma had a couple of efforts on goal, and AC Milan was starting to look a bit tired. But the Ultras certainly were not. Just look at this red flame. The atmosphere was incredible. The fans helped encourage AC Milan to try and get back in the game. Then came a huge opportunity for Rafael Leao to equalise, but he couldn't score. And then we had a chance to score from a free kick, but it was totally wasted. No matter how hard they tried, AC Milan just could not find a way to score. The home fans started singing the best song in Italian football, but Milan was still struggling to find an equaliser. There wasn't long left to go now, and the team needed a big final push. The Roma fans were also making lots of noise. They were only 10 minutes away from beating AC Milan at the San Siro. But as this Europa League quarter-final was coming to an end, AC Milan had a golden opportunity. Chukwueze dribbled down the right and cut inside, and played it to Olivier Giroud, who was just inside the 6-yard box. But somehow, the French all-time top scorer missed. There was a feeling around the stadium that was the golden opportunity. With only 4 minutes left, AC Milan were desperate for a goal. They could not afford to miss chances like that. Frustratingly, Roma began to take hold of possession and even had chances of their own. AC Milan would not get many more chances to find an equaliser. It was now or never for the Rossoneri. Roma were just minutes away from winning at the San Siro in the Europa League. This corner would be AC Milan's last chance. And just like that, Roma won a free kick, and it was all over. Full time, 1-0 to Roma. It was a disappointing display from AC Milan. They created chances, but their front line was poor. Their midfield was sloppy, and they were dispossessed far too often. But I was very impressed with both back lines. Roma took their chances though, and that's why they won the game. But after the final whistle, AC Milan fans were still behind the players. The result wasn't ideal, but they were still singing even as we left the stadium. These fans really have got to be some of the best in Europe, and I really enjoyed my trips to the San Siro. Hopefully Milan can pull it back in the second leg. Anyway, thanks for watching. Go click the videos on screen right now if you want to see more, and I will see you later.